now, brown cow. How now, brown. Oh, we're live. Aaron Whitlow.
I'm Brandon Spivey, and welcome back to the Mark Out Movie Podcast. I don't know
And
what
on today's
Aaron's.
episode, we're going to be reviewing Scream 2022. This is our second time reviewing this Scream, isn't it, Brandon?
Well, we did an out of theater reaction to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
but this is our first official review of it.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
well,
ooh.
yeah. Um, this is going to be pretty epic. So we'll get right into it. Brandon, before I get into it, did you watch Creed 3?
Nope.
Okay.
I watched
So
Operation. Hang on. I watched the new Jason Statham movie with Guy Ritchie directing. Fortune
how was
Operation.
that?
Operation. It was fun. Hugh
Oh,
Grant steals the show once again in a Guy Ritchie film, but it was fun.
all right. Yeah, I will do what we watched. I did watch some stuff. Um, I'm still going through the Scream series, by the way, and I'm still watching New Girl. So those are the main things I'm watching pretty, all the time. But let's see, two movies. Did I mention last week we have a ghost?
Yeah.
Okay. This week I watched The Strays on Netflix. Um, it was it was a movie, man. It was a movie. It's a movie. That's all I can say about it. Strays is a movie.
Which
Uh,
strays would this be?
this is
Not
The
that.
Strays. It's about a woman who uh, who is a light skinned or biracial or light skinned black lady who has children that are biracial with a white man. And but she kind of wants to be that. She like loves the whiteness and being white, essentially passion for white, essentially. But when past people from her past kind of show up, like some dark skinned black folks show up, it triggers her and triggers something in her, and it's kind of strays. Uh, yeah. Bilfer says, "Hey," and
Hello,
then he
Bilfer.
says, "Hope Elvis wins something at the Oscar Sunday." I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
man. I kind of hope the whale wins. Honestly, um, Elvis
everything,
would probably
Aaron.
win.
Aaron,
Huh?
everything. He said something. He didn't say best actor. He said something.
Um, I would.
And
My
you're like, I hope the
prediction.
whale wins everything.
No, no. I won't. I think everything, everywhere, all at once will win Best Picture. That's my prediction. If I want to, and then maybe the Fablemans, then maybe Elvis. I don't think the whale will win Best Picture. I don't know if it's nominated, or maybe the Banshees of Inisherin. They'll probably win something. That was really excellent. Um, but Best Actor, he could win, man. He could win. He's been out there, like, but it could very easily go to Brandon Fraser. I mean, both of them did excellent in their movies. Top Gun could also win Best Picture. I mean, that'd be dope. That'd be pretty
Is it
awesome.
is it nominated for best picture?
I want to say it is.
Huh.
Uh,
I knew it was nominated for something.
um, I'd be kind of cool to see not to. Brandon still hasn't watched RRR,
Not all the way
so
through. I saw the first hour.
oh Lord, it's like 3 hours,
I,
Brandon. You got
I
three
know, I
hours.
know.
Um,
Yeah, I know.
but yeah, I hope that honestly, I do hope that I don't know. I want Data to win.
I
I don't
think
know his name.
I think he's guaranteed to win.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
won everything so far, I believe, in his category. So, yeah, I think that's the one guarantee is he's going to win, and he's going to get the Goonies back on track. I
yeah.
mean, we're getting Beetlejuice too. with Jenna Ortega because she's just blown up. So, um, as far as his question, or it wasn't a question, it was a statement. I hope Elvis wins. I hope Elvis wins too. I hope Elvis wins everything he's nominated for. So that's just me being biased.
But yeah, anything else you want to mention before we jump into the actual
um,
topic?
I finished Blossom.
How does it end? I never finished Blossom, so
Not on a high note. They sell the house. Anthony, he leaves mid-season, moves away. I don't know. I didn't like the ending. So they just sold the house. It's. I hate when sitcoms sell houses to end the show. It's not a
uh,
finale. It's just you're moving away
yeah,
down the
that's
block.
what we got that with the Cosbys. I think we got that with Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I believe they sold the house. I think the Cosby sold the house. I think I think Will. I think the Fresh Prince of Bel Air they sold the house. Um, I think it's a common thing for those
Yeah,
to do. Um,
move.
but yeah,
Yeah, Seinfeld moved
I,
to a jail cell. So
yeah, Seinfeld was probably one of my favorite show endings. Is just them in the jail and just talking about not even that they're in jail, just about anything, nothing.
yeah,
And so I thought
so the
it's
show.
perfect. Yeah, it was a perfect ending. It didn't matter that they're sitting in jail. They could have been in a diner, same conversation.
Yeah,
But yeah, but all right. Anything else before we jump into it? Oh,
no,
Angela Bassett. Um, I want Angela Bassett to, I guess, win Best Supporting for Wakanda Forever. I thought she did a phenomenal job in that movie. I don't know. Is she even nominated? Is she nominated for that? I asked that
yeah,
because I know
yeah,
somebody. I know no, it's Viola Davis that got snubbed,
yeah.
and
Jamie,
also
Jamie,
the
Jamie
lady
Lee
from
is nominated as well.
Jamie Lee. Yeah, and then the other lady got snubbed for Best Actress from Till. Uh, Detweiler. Um, she did an excellent job as Emmett Till's mother. Um, but yeah, no, and then also Mia Goff got snubbed for Pearl. She should have been nominated, but Academy Awards is not going to give horror the platform that it needs. So, I mean, seriously, I mean, she did. You can argue that she had the best performance this year in films, and no matter if it's horror or not, she had the best performance as an actress. I think so. You?
Uh, I mean, she was really good. I'm not gonna say she had the best. I would say top five at least.
You're going to say Margot Robbie for Babylon?
She was really good.
Was
Now,
she was she
I mean,
supporting or was she?
no, she was a lead actress in that. Also, your girl from Playing with Fire, not Playing with Fire. Oh my God, Fighting with My Family. What's her name?
Florence Pugh.
Florence. I thought she was really good. I thought she was a top five performance. Viola Davis was probably my favorite performance of the year, though. I just thought she knocked for that kind of role. I've never seen her in that kind of role. I thought she knocked it out of the park. I didn't think I didn't expect to really like that movie, so it blew me away personally. So I don't know who I would say is number one. I just give it top five.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
be
going to try to
happy
make.
with whoever wins, though. I think they all deserve it. Yes, Bilfer, Anna De Armas in Blonde. She was amazing at
Hello,
movie.
Medusa.
Medusa.
Medusa Love. She is a friend of mine.
Uh,
She is on
Facebook.
Facebook watching. Thank you, Medusa, for watching. Um, but yeah, that's what Bilford says. But all right, we'll get into. Bilford doesn't like Scream. I think we determined that, right?
I
Uh,
think if memory's correct, I think he likes the original, but he didn't. He hates the sequels. if my
I,
memory is correct.
I wonder how he feels about this one, which is I would say it's a requel, um, but which I absolutely love it. Now, I will tell you this: I talked to Medusa earlier. She said that she doesn't like Scream. She's in the same camp as Bilfer. She only seen the original, and she just was done after that. I don't even think she liked the original. She just was done after that. It just wasn't her cup of tea. Scream Five was awesome. Yeah, I like Scream Five. We did that last week.
We're doing it this
Um,
week.
no, this is Scream Five. It's just Scream Five.
Oh boy.
Last week was Scream Four. My bad. 'Cause
Aaron
I
don't know where
forgot
he's
that
at.
it's. I don't know numbers. We determined this when you and Dustin made fun of me liking the fake Jason.
Hey, I did not make fun. I laughed for a second. He kind of hit you with some things, and you got up. I thought y'all was gonna fight, and I thought I was going to break it up, and thankfully none of that happened.
No fighting's happened. No, nobody's gonna fight over fake Jason. It's not gonna happen. But
I would fight over fake Jason. Somebody making fun of fake Jason, but
I
I'm just
don't. I
not.
was. Let me first throw this out. I didn't. I don't hate fake Jason. I thought for what it's worth, he was really good Jason. He wasn't Jason, but I think he was really good at trying to. He was like Corey from. He did a good job as that character, but yeah, he wasn't Jason. I meant the Jason, the zombie Jason. Essentially, that's the one I like. Not fake Jason. I don't know when you get into
The
Roman numbers.
original,
I don't know.
the
Yeah,
original zombie. So
yeah,
Jason lives.
yeah. Jason lives. I love Kyle Gallner in Scream Six.
Five, five,
On
five.
Scream Five. Oh, I can't see.
He can't
Anyway,
read numbers. He can't read numbers.
I do have a learning disability when it comes to numbers. I ain't gonna lie to you. Scream 5, aka Scream 2022,
Yes, sir.
25 years after a streak of brutal murder shocked the town of Woodsboro, California, a new killer dons the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. We have the new crew, which I'm gonna mention them first. Well, the legacy. We're gonna mention legacy. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. They're the legacies, and then I guess you can count uh, Deputy Judy or Sheriff Judy now, Marley Shelton. She's not a legacy, but she's like four,
She was in four. Yeah, it's Deputy
four,
Hicks
four character.
or
Yeah,
Deputy Judy, as Courtney Cox likes to call her.
yeah. Um, and then the ones that we have coming in hot: Melissa Ira, Sam Carpenter, Jack Quaid, aka Randy and Meg Ryan's son,
Mm-hmm.
Richie Kirks. Um, we have Mikey Madison as Amber Freeman, and then Gina Wednesday
Ortega.
Adam Ortega as Tara Carpenter, and then Dylan Minette from 13 Reasons as Wes Hicks. Jasmine Savoy Brown is Minnie Mix Martin. She's also good in the Yellow Jacket show. That's a great show. And then the dude, I didn't realize this was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, Mason Gooding. Is Chad Meeks Martin. He's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. And now that I heard him talk, I kind of hear his voice, sound like his dad's voice a little bit. Um, and it's Sonya Amar as Liv McKenzie. I'm done talking about people. Uh, no numbers. Hot take. Brandon.
Yes, sir.
First, first way we start the movie is with the phone ring. It's like a callback, obviously, to every Scream before, but mainly this. Yeah, I think it pays a real good homage to first Scream. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts on the first opening intro attack?
Okay, my first thoughts, honestly, were okay. He's more violent than he's ever been in the whole Scream franchise. He's more gruesome. The way he stomps her foot and just breaks it, I was like, "Whoa, we starting we starting with a bang here." And I love the fact that he didn't kill her. Because that's they always die in the opening scene. It's like let's change it up a little bit. I like that. I thought that was a pretty creative for them not to kill Jenna's character in the opening scene. But I thought the scene was great. You just missed hearing Ghostface. And I like how he starts off the conversation like a normal conversation. He's not playing Ghostface just yet. He's warming up to it. I like that too. You know,
Mhm.
I just it gave me good vibes
You
in a
I
horrific way.
love yeah, I love how I love how they play with technology with the doors unlocking and locking.
Yeah,
That's it, you know that scene did to me what that scene did to me what showers the shower scene did to me. Oh no, that's not a good sign. That's not a good. 'Cause I still take showers, but that scene did to me what that
thank you
scene
for
did
sharing
did.
that.
Hey, I'm sharing this can, Brandon. That scene did to me what Final Destination 2 and log trucks did for me on the highway. Like I don't get behind log trucks. I'm at the point after watching that scene in Scream 5, I would not be getting nothing where you can just automatically lock or unlock your doors with the phone app. Because if somebody can hack that stuff, that's why sometimes it's good to just have old fashioned locks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
but yeah, I thought that I thought the Ghostface stalking her was so much more menacing. He was
Mm-hmm.
really this is the scariest I think Ghostface has been um, since maybe. Well, I guess it's since forever. I think his is scariest in this film than he was in all the other ones, in my opinion. I didn't.
Yeah, I agree. My score is going to go down a little bit though, and I'll explain why. But yeah, I agree. He's the most menacing, more terrifying Ghostface in the whole franchise. Well, maybe until the new one, but he's the, he's the most menacing. And I loved
Mm,
how he takes out Stu Macher's nephew. Right?
yeah,
It's like the next kill, and he's. I love the guy that plays him. I don't know his name. I know he's from Smile, Haunting in Connecticut, Nightmare on Elm Street remake, a couple
yeah,
more. But that scene actually reminds me of I Know What You Did Last Summer with Barry. You know, guy's in his car and he's
uh,
chasing him. Except,
Cal Gowner. What
oh,
Jennifer was talking about, Cal Gowner.
oh, that's news. But yeah, I like that scene. He checks the car and his Ghostface is not in there. He appears behind him and just pokes him right in the neck. I mean, just it was
Yeah,
vicious, man. It was just vicious.
yeah. I and I have a theory about which Ghostface. I have a theory about every Ghostface and every attack and every kill or whatever. I think. All right, so for those that don't know, Amber, we find out that Amber is a ghost face, and then we also find out that Richie is his name.
Yeah,
Uh, that he's also a ghost face. But I think that the attack on Gina Ortega's character Tara, I think that was for sure Amber. I
yeah,
think she just had Richie pre-record her, and they sent her a pre-recorded video like it was live. Um, but I think that it was. I think it's Amber. 'Cause I think Amber is more vicious. She she literally has the spirit of a. She has a Billy Loomis type of spirit about her. You know what I'm saying? It's in the sense of
yeah,
like I think Billy was the more vicious of the killers. Um, in the original, I think. So yeah, I think she's very vicious. So she did that to her best friend. That's crazy. She don't care. She doesn't care. But whereas Richie, I think Richie doesn't want to get his hands dirty, so he's okay with like he just stabbed him quickly. You know, just make it quick. He didn't stab him multiple times or anything like that. Just a quick little kill. I think that's probably him. That's what I think. I might be wrong. I know he wakes up at the hospital, but who knows what time that happened in between what
Yeah.
time.
Either way, it was still a vicious kill. I mean, it was just quick. So,
Yeah.
what did you think of the new cast though? These the new
Oh, I
teenagers.
love the new cast. I love the new cast. Now, from watching this, the first time I watched it, I wasn't familiar with anyone, and that includes Jenna Ortega. My first time ever seeing Jenna Ortega was this movie.
Mine too.
Now she's blown up, and I'm happy for her. But I wasn't familiar with any of the new casts. But the one that I like the most is Mindy. Uh, Minnie Meeks Martin. That's Randy's niece. I like her the most. She's my favorite of the new cast members. I like Wes too. I hate that Wes died, but Wes needed to die because for Wes we needed that moment. Um, but yeah, she was my favorite was Mindy.
Mm.
Um, and then Sam was okay. She had to grow on me. Towards the end of the movie, she grew on me.
See, I don't care for the nephew and the niece of Randy. I don't. They didn't elevate the movie for me at all. The sisters elevated the movie for me. Their connection, the history with Billy, that was really what made me interested in the new cast. I like Wes too, though. Yeah, it was sad to see him go. For Wes.
Or Wes.
uh, but
Um,
I, but the person that really makes me care in this movie is Dewey. I mean, for the first half of the movie, it's a different Dewey. He's lost everything. He's not a klutz at all. He's got nothing, and I loved seeing that side of him. And I was like, but I knew what was coming.
is
Because
Dark Dewey.
yeah, but I knew what was coming. It's the only way to get Sydney back to Woodsboro is his death. So I mean, it still pains me though. I still feel this. I haven't seen the new movie, but I still feel Scream will never be the same without Dewey.
What was your thoughts on Gail Weathers in this one?
I didn't hate
I know
her.
you have a hate love relationship.
I liked her in 4 and 5. But here's my problem with the legacy characters outside of Dewey. They just don't have enough screen time.
Yeah.
They just kind
Well,
of pop up.
well, I think that for this is literally this movie was supposed to be meant to pass the torch to this next
Yeah,
group of people to carry the franchise on. Um, and I think that oh, by the way, I did love Amber, the killer. I loved Amber. I thought she was great. She was one of my favorite people. I thought she very much was like Stu Macher in the sense of like
really.
how unhinged she is. She's very unhinged. And her comedian as far as like, when the tables turned on and said, no, wait. She says, what are you gonna say it was peer pressure or something like that? She said, no, man. And she says, I just wanted to fit in with a group, man, or something like that. She's like whatever her it's just like very, but then like she's like still a sociopath, man. But
Oh,
um
absolutely.
what's your thoughts on Richie?
I love Richie. I hate the fact that he was Ghostface. It made sense. It was predictable, but I hated it. I felt he should have been one of the survivors. I hated that Amber was one of the killers too. Truly, I would have loved for the sisters to have been the killers, personally, but it would have been the biggest twist. I mean, her own
That would have
sister
been hell.
attacks her,
That would have been
and they end up both being the killers. I mean, you
you,
wouldn't have
you know what I
expected it.
know you know what I noticed? And I think you noticed this the first time around. I noticed it this time around watching it. Is like when the killer's taunting Tara, and he asked her who was the killer in the first original stab,
Yeah.
and then she's like, uh, she said it was. Billy Loomis. It was Billy Loomis. He said, you forgot Stu Macher. And so you think,
Yeah,
oh man, that's talking an awful lot about Stu Macher. Like, you kind of
yeah,
like you're like, man, because it's like, and this is I don't know anything, no spoilers, nothing. This is my theory going into six, is that uh Stu Macher, if he has survived, is mad because he has been forgotten as one of the Ghostface, and so he is wanting him because it's he wanted that notoriety. He didn't get that notoriety that
yeah.
Billy Loomis got. So people think Billy Loomis is Ghostface and forgot all about that there's another person that was Ghostface, and
You
so
know
um,
what's wild about that is, and the real fans, they always talk about Stu. It's funny because in the movie it's all about Billy, but in real life it's really about Stu. We want to see Stu
mhm,
back. I like when we see Billy pop up as a hallucination. A lot of people still get confused to think he's a ghost, but he's a hallucination with Sam. It's not like the biggest reaction. It's like it's nice to see him, but everybody I feel was wanting Stu to pop up. You know,
yeah,
and of course it didn't happen. I don't know if it's going to happen in six or not, but my theory, I told you last night, I feel he's going to pop back up in seven. It's going to be revealed as the killer who really
mm,
orchestrated it, the last three films.
that'd be dope. Um, yeah, I think that. But yeah, I think that this the they say that Billy Loomis, it always ties back to Billy Loomis and Sidney
Mm,
Prescott. They said it all ties back. They pretty much act like Roman didn't exist other than your Dawson Creek little clip that shows up
yeah,
where you see the dude that played Roman in that clip.
yeah, the
But
Halloween episode. I mean, I took that as more of a appreciation for Kevin Williamson than appreciation for Roman. But
mm,
I mean, maybe that's just the Dawson Creek fan in me and the Kevin Williamson fan. Uh,
yeah,
at least
it
they,
seems like they just, I guess, if you think about it, you feel like they just, how Halloween 2018 acted like Laurie and Mike were not siblings. You think
yeah.
that they just rewrote that out as far as like that? Do they treat it? Do you feel like they treat it as if three never happened?
I think they treat it like it happened, but it's like the, I don't know. It's just, it's like the less popular one. So
Yeah,
it's just not talk about it. It happened, but let's not talk
it
about it.
yeah it happened because we have obviously uh Sydney end up marrying Kincaid,
Yeah.
uh, the detective, and also we established that Randy's sister is the same actress that popped up in three.
Yep.
Uh, so she's the mother of the twins. So it happened in that sense, but I think that it's like not talked about. Like they
Yeah.
don't talk about because they said Billy and Stu was the masterminds, right? So they mention Roman at all. It's like Roman doesn't exist, but he exists in the TV world in Dawson's Creek. But Kevin Williamson, uh, you mentioned him. He has a cameo and a voice cameo in this film. What do you think about finding out that Drew Barrymore did the voice cameo for the principal over the intercom?
I mean, yeah, you told me about it. I still didn't pick up on it, but I knew she was in something. Like I didn't know what, but I knew she voiced something. I didn't know it was the principal, but I think that's just the love and respect these actors had for Wes Craven. The admiration they had for him. He was beloved pretty much by everybody he worked with. So uh, it's a respect thing, and I love that. And you know, I in some ways I would hope she would return. Maybe it's a different character, Obviously, she can't play Casey, but I don't know. It shows me she has love for the franchise as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and also as we talking about people that does voice stuff, so Stu Marker himself, aka Matthew Lillard, does voice the flamethrower possessing Ghostface. He does the
Yeah,
voice saying, uh, you know, this is lit or something like that. But that's actually Matthew Lillard. Then you have Jason or Jamie Kennedy voicing the talking about some dude's um, dad is kicking us all out or something. That's him. And then also everybody essentially said for West collectively,
yeah,
um, including your boy Kevin Williamson and Ryan Johnson, who was poked fun of because and I want to say this about Ryan Johnson, and if Star Wars fans may hate me, I didn't hate that Star Wars film, by the way, that Ryan Johnson did. I didn't hate it, um, but um, I give him props. He was supposed to actually do a actual cameo, doing a panel talking about the Scream film that they hated. They hated about they did, Scream 8, I guess, or whichever one. Stab 8. I'm sorry, Stab 8. Um, he was going to be like a meta. It's going to be a meta joke on the whole Star Wars franchise.
yeah,
But he couldn't do it because he got busy with Glass Onion. So so that's what happened. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, but I want to take my hat off to my fictitious hat to Ryan Johnson for poking fun. Ryan Johnson, I like Ryan Johnson. I think he's an excellent filmmaker and writer, and so I'm glad that he can poke fun, and I'm glad that this series showed him love. Obviously, Ryan Johnson works with the studio because he did Ready or Not, which is a great movie. So
What do you mean, is it ready or not?
Ready or Not. So I think Ryan Johnson either directed or wrote
He didn't
Ready
direct
or
it.
Not.
The
I
same
think
directors,
he wrote it.
the same directors that directed Ready or Not directed Scream.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Johnson wrote Ready or Not.
Okay, I have no
I'm
idea.
about to check it. I'm about to check it.
Gonna
Uh,
check it.
oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
I'm
wrong.
wrong. Hold up. I thought he did something with Ready or Not because that's what their connection was to Ryan Johnson. The Ryan Johnson did something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. But I like Ready or Not though. Go ahead, Brandon. It's going off the
I,
rails.
oh man. So where were we?
Uh,
Okay.
we,
What did you think of
what?
Richie? You asked me about Richie. What did you think of him?
Oh, immediately I think of the boys because when I see him, I immediately think of him being in the boys. But and I love him from the boys, so it was easy for me to love him in this. Um, but him being uh, at some point, yeah, I guess it's obvious. Going back and watching, I did see that there was kind of a look between him and that girl, the Amber. They
Because
kind of had a look between themselves.
they paid attention to Scream because Matthew and Skeet kind of looked at each other. If you weren't paying attention,
Yeah.
you would miss it. But yeah, I love Richie though. I hated that he was one of the killers. He was just such a good, fun character. He acted like he didn't know much about the stab movies. And he's a massive toxic fan. you know, I
Hmm.
I just I didn't like the reveal at all once we get there. Either one, I didn't like it in theaters. It was my only letdown in theaters was the reveal of those two being the killers. But in the theater reaction, I was so sure it was going to be Stu. I was just like, it's coming. He's upset. Billy, he had a daughter. He's finding anything personal, to go after Billy. And I just thought it would have
Yeah.
been an awesome way to bring him back, and but it didn't happen, and we got what we got. But I
Let's
I didn't like
let's
Nev
talk
Campbell in
about
this.
yeah. Before we get to Nev and that, because this is gonna get us there. Let's talk about sequence involving Wes and Sheriff Judy and Ghostface. Ghostface brutally murders Judy. Brutally
Hmm.
murders her, stabs her several times over and over again, like over and over again. It's crazy. But then, um, and then also Wes dies. That leads us to what were your thoughts on that little sequence there first?
Uh, kind of. I wasn't shocked that Wes ended up dying. I was expecting that, but I was kind of shocked that Sheriff Judy died so quickly. And I was like, huh. And that's when to me, is when I knew that okay, these legacy characters are in trouble. They killing her right off, and then we get Dewey later. But I was a little surprised they killed Judy so quickly. I thought she would at least make it to the third act, but it was brutal. I still question if her son, if Wes is Dewey's. I mean,
I mean,
I got to question it. I mean, there's no mention of a father. Where's he at? And then I don't know. It was a brutal death, and it shocked me. So I don't know.
yeah, I thought that for sure that Wes was gonna at least live, but when he dies, obviously he's like, oh, you don't. At that point, I'm like, oh, so all bets are off as far as like who's gonna live. But it leads us to Dewey and Gail reunion. Uh, Short lived. That's the only time they shared the screen together is once.
Yeah,
Um, but and then West, not West, but Dewey and Nev didn't share the screen. Sydney, they didn't share it at all.
not physically.
Um, not physically. Um, but I wanted to lead to this. I felt like Dewey's death was the series saying to actual David Arquette, thank you for all you've done for the series, essentially.
Yeah,
And because when they killed him, it says this is an honor or something like that. Like
yeah,
I felt like that was more towards him and not so much towards or to Dewey and to David Arquette because
yeah,
he's the heart. He's been the heart of this franchise.
yeah. I've always said that Sydney gets called the final girl and the star of the franchise, but David Arquette is the heart of the franchise. He's the heartbeat, and I swear this is the truth. I have never cried watching a horror film in my life. I bawled when Dewey dies. You
Oh,
know,
last night you
not
bought.
last night, but first time I watched it, the second time I watched it, I just bawled. It just, I never felt emotion like that watching a slasher movie because you're there for the kills, but when that shows the impact he made.
Mm,
If it would have been Gail, wouldn't have felt a thing. If it would have been Sydney, I would have felt something, but not like Dewey. To me, Dewey is Scream. Without him, it'll
mm,
never be the same. So it broke my heart when he died, but I understood it's the only way, realistically, you're going to get Sydney back in Woodsboro.
mm.
And that was the whole point of it. So his death served a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that he was also, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. It's Gail's fault that Dewey died.
it is. It is. I
Gail
remember
shouldn't have
saying
caught
that.
him.
I remember saying that. Oh, why did she have to call him right then?
Mm,
Ah,
yeah.
distracting him. Ah, man, it upset me. And I was hoping she was going to die after that moment.
You
I
was
was,
all about her death.
yeah, I was like, but it didn't happen. But she did get shot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she did get. Well, she always get shot in the same spot too, no less. She should have like multiple wounds right there. But yeah,
I think,
no. When Dewey died, though, it's just like I wish that I know that Gail made a big deal of it, and Sydney made a deal of it. I think that the new character should have made a bigger deal. I felt like um, what's her name? The Sam. I think
yeah.
Sam was she's sorry, but that he died. But I don't think that she didn't have that much of an emotional connection like Sydney
Well,
or Gail.
no, I mean, she wouldn't. She just met him. But I think her focus was her and her sister at that point in time. You know,
Mm,
she's sorry that he's dead, but I gotta get out of here. I understood it, but yeah, I mean, she didn't have the same reaction as the fans had, or Sydney or Gail. You
yeah,
know, but
but Nev Sydney pops up and she's ready to start killing. But it's not Sydney's movie, and I understand that. It's not about Sydney.
no,
It's literally nothing. It's not even if Sydney hadn't showed up, it's not about her at all. That would just been a cool bonus if they killed
yeah,
Sydney. Like even in the last film, four, the whole thing was Sydney, still about Sydney.
yeah,
But this one is about Sam. But I thought that, and even that, like I could very easily seen Tara becoming the final girl because she I think she has a little bit more to offer than Sam, in my opinion. Jenna Ortega, I think
yeah,
that she's such a big star. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie or any trailer or anything going towards this new one, but I would hope that they wouldn't kill her off. I think that you got you got gold in having such a big name, and she's clearly the biggest name that they have in the series going forward right now.
yeah,
In my opinion, I think you'll be a fool to let her go. Now, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I get you. I mean, she is. She's the biggest star. She blew up right after Scream. She got Wednesday. She got X. I mean, she did some other horror film too. So now she's doing Scream 6, and she's about to do Beetlejuice 2. I mean, she's huge. There's no other word to say. I mean, she's it. She, she's your Scream Queen right now, with along with Mia Goth. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's. I think those are the two biggest stars and females in horror films today. But
I wouldn't argue with that. I agree with you. Yeah.
I I don't know if they killed her off or not. Only thing I heard was she gave a good performance. That's all I know about her. So
That's all I need to know. But yeah, um, I think that now the reveal of now it's funny. The girl that Amber, they burned her up in this one, and I didn't realize she's the same lady that was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's one of the cult members. With
yeah,
that
yeah,
got
she is.
she's the one that got burned with the flamethrower in the swimming pool. The same lady. So she got burnt up in both of those films. Which I didn't even realize that was the same lady. But she's really good at playing like a menacing type of character. I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna what work she's gonna do in the future. But man, I think that man. Let's see. Yeah, as far as I can see, man, she's not. She ain't doing anything, bro. So uh, and that's it's sad, man. I hope that she gets work because I thought she did an excellent job in this movie. In my opinion, I
Yeah,
liked her. What about
yeah.
you?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really care for the Amber character, but I thought she did good dying. I thought she did good dying, but I didn't really care for the character. Uh, she just, but playing a psychopath, sociopath, I thought she did good there. Towards the end, she had a few moments, but overall, I didn't really care for the character. But I don't know. I mean, I thought she did pretty good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though. I thought
Hmm.
that she gave a better performance there.
What's your thoughts on Billy Loomis popping up in the movie?
Uh, it was cool. It's about all I could say. I'm on record saying I would rather have Stu, but it was cool. It was cool to see Skeet reprise this, um, and as a hallucination. I, I don't know though. It's got a mixed reaction for the fans though. You know.
I don't mind it at all. But I do want to say, like, I loved that idea of her singing an image of her, and that just shows you the her mindset,
Yeah.
where she always has this silent. It's like a Dexter type of thing, where Dexter sees his father. I don't know if you ever seen Dexter. It's not a spoiler, but Dexter sees his
No.
father.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's just a really cool thing. I suggest you watch Dexter if you hadn't. It's a great show. Um, but I really I loved when Sam says there's a new rule, and then like he said, "What is it?" He's like, "You don't, f with the daughter of a serial killer." And then like she stabs him in the mouth, in the jaw,
Yeah.
and then like the town like 20 wounds. Like she meant every single bit of that. I
Oh
love
yeah.
that. I love that her character leaned into the this is my bloodline, and that's what I want going forward with that character. I want her to be just as like you're not really safe because Sidney Prescott, anybody versus Sidney Prescott. Sydney is no longer after the first one. Sydney was not a victim. She's like, I'm not going to be a victim.
Yeah.
I'm fighting. And so, if somebody that's going to be the new Sydney, essentially, has to be a fighter, and
Yeah.
that's what I
Absolutely.
think.
Yeah. I thought Sam was a really good fighter. Delusional, but a really good fighter. She got some mental problems, uh, but but I liked her. I mean, I was a big fan of Sam from the get go. I was like, but I also knew her from In the Heights. Um, so
Like
I
the musical.
yeah, she plays Vanessa in that.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
she's no, I don't know. I've seen that movie like all of once,
Well, I've only seen it once.
but I don't remember it. That's the difference.
Exactly. That's that would be the difference.
Yeah, in the Heights. Yeah, she's she's an actress, I guess. Yeah, go for it, girl. But
She's an
anyway,
actress, you guess. Way to
she
insult
did
her.
a good job. No,
Nah,
no, I'm
she's an
sorry.
actress.
I gotta
Did a
watch
little
that movie. Anyway,
did a little
so
cheekbones of De Niro. Yeah, she's an actress.
uh, but anyway, uh, any conclusions you have before we get into to our numbers or
Uh,
our marks?
I will say this though: after the movie ends, after they kill him, and it cuts to Ghostface,
Hmm.
I thought that was leading to something like a possible end credit scene, but it didn't. But I liked it a little. I liked it because it had never done anything like that before.
I think they all do that. They all have
Do
like
they?
that little, yeah, they all have that little jump scare at the very end, except for uh three. because they literally just closed, like leave the door open, but I don't think she any type of ghost face. But I think that there was a common thing that they do with the little jump scare. Um, but I liked it, man. I'm gonna go. I go ahead and give you my marks. I know it's gonna be. Should I give you list first because yours is gonna be than mine.
Okay. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 on the markout meter. I didn't
That's not
like
bad.
the. I thought it kind of went off the rails a little bit at the end. So that's the reason I kind of
Uh,
cut it a
look,
little bit.
let me say this about the end. I feel like the end displays. I think the end displays the fact that Amber and Richie literally really didn't the idea of being killers and doing this. They really just was sloppy and didn't know what they was doing. There are no Stu and Billy Loomis.
Yeah,
Um, and I say the killers that had it together the most so far would probably been Mrs. Loomis and Mickey. I think they had it together the most. Uh, oh no. I would say I take that back. I would say that Sydney's cousin from the last film
yeah. That's
and
where I was.
that kid. I
That's
think
where I
that
was
they
gonna
had
go.
it together because she had a real end game and she almost seen it through had not Sydney lived. That's the only reason that it
Yeah,
didn't happen for her. Um, but
yeah. Those. I mean, Billy and Sue's my favorite, but the best game plan, planning it all out. I think it goes to Scream 4, which is still it's my favorite sequel, honestly. I didn't think I would think that rewatching these because I was expecting this to be my favorite, but it is what it is. I still like every sequel. Third one's it's okay, but overall,
we're
I
gonna
mean, I
so
really
let's go there.
let's go
I'm
there.
gonna go there with you. I'm gonna go there with you. Oh, by the
Okay,
way, my numbers. I give it five markouts out of five. Excellent film. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have anything wrong with it. I loved it again. And I love the feels. I love it's just a great way of continuing the story. But this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go the original. I'm gonna go this one. Then I'm gonna go four. Then I'm gonna go two. And then the last place will be three.
mm,
That's my numbers. It's my rating ranking.
okay. My rating would be ranking would be the original would be number one, Scream 4 would be number two, Scream 2 would be three, this one would be four. Hey, I gave Scream 2, Scream 4, 5 stars. Gotta go away, gotta go. And I would give Scream
Whoa!
3 fifth. Yeah.
You chose this. Oh, you chose Scream Two
Yeah,
over
I think it's
this
a
one.
better I think it had a better film. Yeah. I gave it five
I
stars
don't agree
there.
with you, sir.
Well,
I know you
obviously.
did, Brandon.
So you respected me to put Scream 2022, which I gave 4.5 stars, over a film I
Hmm.
gave 5 stars. I can't do
So
that.
Scream.
That'd be hypocritical of me
What'd
to
you
do
give
that.
Scream Three? What'd you give Scream
Three,
Three?
three.
Okay. All right.
I
Yeah,
think there's
that's fine. I
four.
understand.
There's four excellent Scream films, and there's one okay one,
I
in my
agree with
opinion.
that. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that the third one is not even like if you skipped over that, I don't think you lose anything. I don't think you lose
You lose.
anything.
Well, if you skipped over it, you still have Cotton.
And you skip over, we still have Cotton.
Yeah,
We should skip over it because I'd rather have Cotton. But
yeah.
but all right, that's what we have for this week. Brandon, what do we want the people to do, sir?
We want you to like, share, and subscribe to the Markout Movie Podcast channel.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna check and see if there's any more comments on Facebook. There isn't. Thank you for listening, tuning in, and watching. Um, Next week, the plan is to do Scream 6.
Yes.
That's the plan. Uh, but if you know, but we're gonna play everything by ear, um, and keep you posted on our Facebook channel. Brandon, thank you for your time and being here with me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Um, I love you, man. I ain't afraid to say that. I love a grown man say he loves another grown man. It is
I
what it
love
is.
you too.
What you gonna? Ain't nothing you can do about it, sir. I'm gonna love you. But and that's what the world should have, more love. You
More
know.
love. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not less love. Less love sucks. More love is great. Makes sense to me. But
It makes sense to him. It's become a love fest
right.
at the end of Scream.
Love fest at the end of school because do it for it's for West. But
For
anyway,
Wes.
uh for West. But and this for those that don't Wes Craven died after the 2011. So this is kind of like a love letter to Wes,
It is. Yes, it
essentially.
is.
Um
I.
so yeah.
It was a good love letter too. So
Yeah. But all right, we thank you for marking out with us here on the Mark Out Movie Podcast. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Happy International Women's Month, if that's still happening. Good job. Congratulations, women. Thank you for doing stuff.
God.
I don't know. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm rambling. All right, but I don't want to
Yeah.
get canceled. All right, have a good one.
All right.